Welcome, everybody. We're back. It's time for a brand new Oh Yeah Trek Watch because, like it or not, new Star Treks are coming. This Thursday, the second season of Lower Decks premieres. So I had to open the ready room and everybody sit down and have a conference about it. We've got Mitch Halleck from Connecticut and Terrificon. How you doing, Mitch?
I'm good, Johnny.
Good to see you. Good to see Franco from New York. Absolutely. And coming to us live from Vegas, our import. It's here he is. It's DeForest Kelly, Stunt Devil. It's time for Wayne to join us on the show. How are you, Wayne?
Pretty good. Have a little more flesh than DeForest at the moment.
This is true. Well, that's why they need you for all the Stunt Double scenes because he's not moving as quickly as he used to right now, and everything. Has everyone seen the trailers of the new shows?
Yes.
Cool.
Yes.
And Mitch, obviously, I'm going to want a full convention report because you're live from Vegas, as you said, the Delta variant quadrant, if you will. Good to see you, man. Absolutely. So, all right. I guess they're telling us there's some sort of echo on Facebook for some reason. I don't know. Is there still everybody? We're not hearing an echo.
No. Must be the Delta Quadrant.
Could be. I would suggest that, Dante, that you watch via YouTube, where there's no static is all, as Steely Dan used to say. How about that? Yeah, I'm not really sure why there is an echo on Facebook, but regardless, it's good to see everybody. So let's. There we go. Very good. And David's saying not hearing an echo. Okay, good. And Mario is enjoying the heroin. Very good. Wayne, how do I say your last name? I never know how to say it.
Musso.
Musso? Okay, Wayne Musso. There you go. Very good. Well, that's easier than it spell it. So that's good to know. Very cool. I'm sure I'll forget before the show's over. But let's start with the show that isn't coming up right away. Let's start with Star Trek Prodigy, which is the Nickelodeon show. It's going to be on Paramount Plus. We all know it's still shitty, CBS All Access. Let's not fool ourselves. But yeah, I not only and Wayne, I will ask if you went to any panels regarding Trek Prodigy.
Okay, the actual the convention starts Wednesday.
Oh, so you're okay. Excuse me, you're there ahead of time, obviously.
I'm ahead of time to do some shopping, gambling.
Make sure he's not contagious. Hold on.
Make sure I'm not contagious.
That's cool. Mm-hmm. That's good. Are you staying downtown or are you staying?
We're at the beautiful Rio All-Star Classy Casino, where a face mask is in every room.
Well, that's good though. At least I mean.
It's where you find the face mask that's the issue.
Mm-hmm. You just found it strewn about the place?
Pretty much.
Nice.
Excellent. And of course, Skokie Spidey with the Balthazar Court. He's never going to watch anything. I'm drinking Romulan ale. So I figured that's my contribution. No shirt, nothing else.
No shirt.
I've got my Romulan ale that I'm drinking and stuff. So Prodigy, and I'll put up a still in a second, but
you brought up at the beginning of the show, like it or not, they're coming back. I'm going to go with not because if I have a choice, but the only one I'm actually more surprised at than not was the Prodigy trailer because I thought it was this is something that can actually work with this animation and story wise it might be interesting. Might not suck like the other others have. Yeah. So I'm actually pretty excited by that. So
it looked a lot like those Star Wars Disney shows when I saw it. I was like, oh, didn't they do this already on Disney Plus?
So you mean the current Star Wars cartoon?
Yeah. The whatever,
like Bad Batch and
Batch, the Resistance. They got a bunch of them over there, but it reminded me of that. But I guess that's the audience they're going for, right? Young kids. So
sure. Wayne, what do you think of the trailer so far?
Well, so far, I think Prodigy is the best of the bunch.
I would agree. I feel the same way. I'm hopeful. It seems like I have no problem with powerful women on these shows, but at least it looks like there are powerful boys along with them. In fact, the one alien boy says to the alien girl, she's like, "I came to save you," and he's like, "Now we can save each other." Ooh. And it's like, yeah, very nice. Okay, all right. And
like
then
a Hallmark card. Yeah.
A whole bunch of male and female weird-looking aliens, and you get Kate Mulgrew as the holographic.
It looks like they're going to use their skin in that one.
Maybe, yeah. You mean their brains? Yeah, maybe.
Well, that was a callback
the line
to the
lower
decks. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even remember that bit. That was on Lower Decks.
Yeah,
that was on the preview. Yeah, it was on the preview.
Oh, I didn't.
Like, we get to use this superpower, and the other guy goes, "Our skin? No, our brains." Right? Yeah.
Don't get ahead of ourselves. We're
Sorry, I know. Sorry. I thought it was.
No, I saw the Comic-Con at Home panel about Prodigy, and those things are all. I mean, Hall H without the woos, and that's fine. Whatever. Jerry O'Connell moderated the Prodigy panel, despite being from Lower Decks.
Why? Was Will Wheaton not available?
Exactly. Was he busy?
I guess not, or whatever. And it's funny, I didn't watch the one for Lower Decks. There is one for Lower Decks.
Yes, there is.
But yeah, I haven't had a chance to watch that. But yeah, here, let's boy, people are already talking and everything. Let's see here. Doubt says that at the Rio, the seafood buffet on Thursday nights used to be awesome there, Wade. So note to self about that. Although I don't know, Mitch at Terrificon, were the buffets at Mohegan Sun? Were the buffet rooms open? I was going to say, I don't know.
If the season's buffet has been closed since last year. They have yet to open it.
Sure. No, I understand that. All right. Dowd has not seen the trailer yet. Yeah, man. It's, there's a 2-minute Prodigy trailer, and there's also a 1-minute teaser that has a little bit more different kind of footage and stuff. But yeah, it looks like Clone Wars, definitely.
Does it seem odd that they just found a crashed Federation ship just sitting there?
Well, I guess we'll find out the story.
I just saw that. I was like, wow.
I mean, again, they stumble across it.
Yeah.
We have no idea how it got there. I would hope that is part of the story, and it's not just.
And we don't know how Kate. Yeah, we don't know how Kate Mulgrew got trapped in that thing yet.
Well, no, she's the hologram.
Yeah, she's
captain.
Yeah, she's like the Doctor on Voyager.
Yeah, she's the
AI. They've been very clear about that.
Oh, well, then the kids are trapped with her.
Of all captains, why would you pick her?
Watch the trailer?
Yes, I did.
Yeah,
like they're like slaves or something on some sort of planet.
Yeah, soon they'll be slaves of Kate Mulgrew.
Well, exactly.
Only pet peeve is the name, the title, Prodigy. I can't watch it without thinking of some dial-up modem thing.
Right, absolutely.
Why don't you call it Star Trek AOL?
Hey, well, maybe in the Star Trek universe, it'll be called something different. It'll be pronounced differently or something.
Oh,
as someone who used to work for CBS Radio, and they've just come up with Odyssey for their name. Prodigy is just fine. It's just, I mean, and again, obviously, I'm assuming smart kids, great, whatever, that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, and I really am hopeful because two of my favorite people in nerd world are co-wrote the show with the big staff, and that's Julie and Shauna Benson. And they've told me nothing about the show because they're not allowed to, but I'm rooting for them, and I am hoping
those NDAs could be a hassle.
Exactly. Yeah. Time-wise, obviously it's after Voyager somewhere, right? Has to be.
I have no idea, Mitch, because the I really don't know. I mean, because I mean, she's not the AI isn't Admiral Janeway; it is Captain Janeway.
Oh,
so I don't. And also, it's supposed to be an older ship, so I assume that it's at the very least post Nemesis as far as the movies goes, and maybe in the Lower Decks timeline. But I honestly have no idea. And yeah, Dowd even asked Mitch, you don't like Janeway? What captain would you rather they have used?
No, I was just saying, of the entire federation of captains, would they do like a Kirk? I mean, who picks these things? I mean, he's like the most famous, right?
True. But two things. One, obviously, that's like, would you have an artificial intelligence of, somebody from 100 years earlier, or would you have somebody current?
Oh, well, maybe there's not too far off. No, I got nothing against Janeway. I like Janeway. Hey, here's one for you. Speculation, since it's aimed at a younger audience, do you think they're going to go really deep into the the references and all the stuff that we know, because why
it'd be
bother?
kind of cool if it was all new. Like,
yeah, right.
Totally different and not having anything to do with Starfleet would be kind of cool, because it would fling it in a different direction and we could see more of this universe.
Not like Lower Decks with 3 or 4 references per episode.
And they probably didn't use Shatner because they didn't have the rights likeness, because Shatner charges quite a bit.
Oh, you think it's money?
Or Kirk.
Definitely. Yeah. Absolutely, it's been money.
Cisco would have been cool.
The few times that they've tried to get Shatner in the past, it's always come down to money, and they weren't, because Shatner was supposed to be on Enterprise.
Oh yeah, that's right. But the war, the time war.
Anyway, that inspired a question regarding geez, I'm sorry guys, the captains and stuff, and where I was going to ask Wayne, did you recognize any of the aliens from Prodigy so far as being existing Star Trek aliens? I haven't.
No, I didn't. No, none of them really popped to mind when I was watching it.
So I don't know.
Hey Johnny, I have a question.
Shoot.
Were we all supposed to wear uniforms today? Because I didn't get that memo.
Johnny's wearing his Section 31 shirt.
No, it's just
I thought he had I thought you had a Starfleet.
Oh no, that's just his nipple. That's his,
that's actually a
Dorito.
The work shirt company Dickies.
Oh
yes.
So my shirt is technically a Dickie.
Ooh.
But no, I didn't, and that's why
I'm wearing a penis right
at
here.
At the very least, like I said, I broke up my Romulan ale to drink. So what are you wearing, Mitch?
I'm wearing a King Kong shirt just because
I like
it's clean.
And Wayne's Dr. Musso, so we understand. Sorry, show us where it hurts, Doctor.
Look, a Gorn.
Actually, he's going to be here at the convention.
The Gorn?
Yes.
The guy that played him?
Bobby Clark.
He's still alive?
That's fantastic.
He's still alive.
Old friend. Yeah. Anyway, I love that.
I remember Shatner threw some styrofoam at me.
It was that
and
cannon.
I threw it at him.
The slowest moving lizard next to a slee stack.
It was, wasn't it Ted Cassidy playing the voice? Captain Kirk, this is your enemy.
Oh, was it?
I think it was.
I don't know.
Sure sounded like him. We should look that up.
Captain Kirk.
I don't know. And as Doubt says, when did they record Janeway's AI while Voyager was still in the Delta? Well, no, I would think not, Dot. I think it would be accomplished Catherine Janeway that would require her, but maybe not. I have no idea.
Wait a second. So she's an admiral in Nemesis, right?
Yeah.
And that was taking place a couple years after the Voyager came back. I don't know what, 3 or 4 or 5 years.
Whatever.
So maybe she had a week off or something and said, "Hey, let me go to audible.com and lay down some tracks."
Like Skokie Spidey.
Well, no, maybe you know what? Maybe because she successfully survived her voyage to the which quadrant was she in? Gamma or I can't remember.
Look at Mitch's name
Delta.
Delta quadrant.
Yeah, and then they said, well, if you're going to put someone in charge of a ship, why not the woman who's brought the entire...
She probably encountered more species than any other Starfleet captain.
So they probably put her. They probably put her on this ship, and they shot it back into the Delta quadrant. So that's the premise of the show.
No. Honestly, we don't know where it is. So you're right. It may actually be taking place in the Delta Quadrant. I have no idea. That's a very interesting point.
Or it could be a ship from the future that got stuck. We don't know, because I was going to say, now you're all over.
We'll watch the show. We will watch the show. I have no idea.
Was it on Lower Decks where they had the Janeway maneuver?
Well, remind me what the Janeway maneuver was.
I just don't. I know. It just sort of popped in my head.
It might have made a reference to the Janeway maneuver.
As long as it's not Captain Harriman. The guy that was the guy from
maneuver is just
Ferris Bueller's Day Off, who was in charge of Enterprise B.
Yes, Captain Harriman, absolutely. Cam from Ferris Bueller.
Yeah, he sucked.
Did you ever see they made a fan movie called Star Trek Gods and Monsters, which I believe you can still find online. And Nichelle Nichols and definitely Walter Koenig.
Yeah,
I can't remember if George Takei was in it or not. But Alan Rucker, who played Harriman, is in it as Harriman. And in fact, they acknowledge what happens with Harriman in Generations. And Uhura even reassures him and says, nobody in Starfleet blames you for what happened. And he says, I blame myself. I'm the one that lost Kirk. And it was kind of cool that he was in there. And it was a whole
cool. Once
again, the timeline gets broken and things get weird.
This brings up another question, because you and I have argued about this before, because you love these movies, and I think they're a whole crock of crap.
The fan movies?
Yeah. Go on. Don't the actors get in trouble for being in these?
Well, they didn't used to, but now that, again, these were all made before Axanar, and Axanar made Paramount, shit themselves, and all of a sudden now, okay, new rules, moving forward, whatever. Oh, Steven confirms, by the way, that yes, indeed, Ted Cassidy was.
Oh, wow.
Gorn. And of course, yes, he was the. The fake alien and Corbinite maneuver, and of course,
with Clint Howard,
Rock, the giant android in What Are Little Girls Made Of?
Yeah.
I am Roger Corby. Christine, this can be repaired. Does this make that much of a difference? Equate, transmit. Anyway,
that was great. I felt like
that was it was like watching the show.
I'm practicing. I'll be standing
there you go.
live.
Somebody says
for
right
the
there.
Convention on this coming weekend, where Wayne will be there watching me on the big screen. No. Oh, there you go. By the way, that's right. And Mike Conrad, I'm so glad you mentioned that. Yes, one of the characters is a Tellarite. That's true. And the other character is a Medusan. And Medusans are, remember from the original serise, the ambassador.
In the light. Yeah, in the box.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
And if you look at it, you go crazy and stuff. And it was Diane Mulder was blind.
Yeah.
And that's why she can handle it. And then Spock sees it without the visor. And, it's great. Then they go to the kaleidoscope camera, and it's Spock. Relax. Can you feel me?
Spock, how stoned are you?
Exactly. How many fingers am I showing, Spock?
Don't eat the brown tribbles.
Does it look like my hands could crush my head?
Do you ever feel boxed in, like you're running through a forest? Yeah.
Mike also says there's also a Bricker in Prodigy, which is a race Peter David created in the New Frontier books. Ooh. So it's great to see they're actually using stuff from the novels. I couldn't agree more. That's awesome.
How does one know? How do you know what it looks like if it was in a novel?
He describes it.
Oh, I don't know. I didn't read these things. I'm like, does it like have like three eyes?
Mitch, do you really think they make books about aliens and they don't describe what the aliens look like?
No,
probably in the Star Trek Encyclopedia.
I was like, how did he know that? Bricker.
They usually look it up. They usually break it down for you because they want you to use your.
They want me to go buy a Peter David book.
They want you to use your skin.
Exactly. They want you to use your skin.
I'm not deaf,
What else? I think I am moderately optimistic about Prodigy because it is a clean slate.
Don't commit too much. I'm moderately optimistic.
I've been burned before.
I've been burned before
with burnt fingers, but cautiously.
We've been faced before,
When exactly does this premiere? It just said fall, right?
They haven't said, and I would imagine because of Lower Decks, we won't hear a date until well into Lower Decks.
Aren't they trying to compete with
Lower Decks?
Aren't they trying to compete with like the Star Wars and Marvel type thing at Disney, where they have something happening almost like every week, Star Trek wise? So I think that's why all these shows are hitting.
Yeah.
Well, Picard's 2022, and Lower Decks is like what, 10 episodes again? It starts this week, so you could go all the way to the end of October,
right?
Then you can kick this show in, say it's 12 episodes, and go all the way into January, and then Picard could,
Well, and don't forget, I believe Discovery season 4 might even
be in there
before Lower Decks or before Picard season 2,
and then you got Brave New World,
Strange New Worlds, yeah.
Because that
wrapped?
That finished principal photography, right?
Yeah,
this season I believe it did.
I guess.
Yeah, because Rebecca Romaine had to cancel her appearance here.
Oh man!
Wayne, fly home immediately. Go home.
Exactly. That's something I should get to. I got to get her for Terrificon next year. That's something.
And a bulk of the Discovery people also canceled.
Well, they're still filming. I know that because Doug Jones was supposed to be here last week, and they said he can't do it because they had a COVID shutdown and everything got pushed back a couple weeks. So they're supposed to have wrapped it the middle of July, but now they're not going to do it to the middle of August. So that's why he's not there, because they're still filming Where are they in Canada? Is that show?
They're in Toronto.
Yeah,
Most
so
of
yeah,
them
they're
are,
not. Yeah, they're not coming down.
Wayne, we got to get you back then in like 2 weeks to find out what they. I mean, because obviously next weekend or this coming weekend you're going to be in the thick of it. But yeah, would love to hear a report card. And also, I really want an objective person to tell me, like when they do the newer panels, what's the level of attendance? I mean, I'm not looking for trolls, but really, it's like, again, I feel like I don't want to hate Star Trek. I love Star Trek. Why would I be talking about Star Trek if I didn't love Star Trek, for Christ's sake?
You do realize the crowd that's coming to this drank the Kool-Aid and then some.
Well, but
we all did. We all did.
Yeah. Why else were we here on a Sunday night?
Oh, the Trek experts are here for the convention.
The what?
The podcasters that John talks about.
Yeah, the Inglorious Trek.
Oh, those guys.
That's Mark Altman and Rob Burnett and Ashley White and Ashley Miller, excuse me. Darren Dockerman. Darren Dockerman was on the production staff when they kind of rebooted the original 1979 movie for DVD release. He was part of the group that like recut it with Robert Wise. Altman obviously and Rob Burnett rather made Free Enterprise. So
they're going to do a live pod here.
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah, that'll
What
be
are
fun.
some of the panels at the show, Wayne? Do they post
They
it yet?
haven't put up the panels yet.
Really?
No.
Oh no, we won't find out till Wednesday.
Well, then how do you know which one you want to go to if you don't know ahead of time?
Because you drank the Kool-Aid. You're going to screw up.
Now, let me ask you a question: Is that usually what's done, or is it?
Yeah.
Is that a
It's always
protocol?
been like that. Creation is always put in
that's
like the last
stupid.
minute.
Weird.
So you just don't know exactly what's going to be.
But how did you know about the Gorn showing up?
Yeah, I was going to say.
It's because they do have the listing of all the people that are here.
Oh, so yeah, tell us names of guests and stuff.
All right.
Talk about Lower Decks. Go on.
Okay. Actually, the one that I'm looking forward to. Well, we got the 4 original cast that are still alive. So Shatner, Takei, Koenig, and Nichols is going to be here.
Oh.
So that's going to be interesting. We have Jerry Ryan, Kelsey Grammer.
Awesome.
Is going to be here.
That's cool.
The only person from Next Gen is Brent Spiner. That's here. Everyone else had to cancel.
Well, no, Frakes is directing stuff, so I can see that.
Yeah.
Sure.
The one I'm really looking forward to is
to is that Nana Vister? Nope.
Oh, Marina
Johanna.
Sirtis?
No. Yeah. Oh, she canceled. No, it's
all right. Give up and tell us. We can't.
Yeah, Shorin Agadashlu. She's on The Expanse. She plays the Secretary General of the United Nations, but she was Commodore Paris from Star Trek Beyond.
Oh,
she was okay. She's Chris Pine.
Okay, it's the Indian actress.
Yes,
love her voice. Oh my God, she has an amazing voice.
No, she's the one that when Pine is like, I'm thinking about quitting or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, that okay. I was like, who?
Oh, Ben Vereen
all
is
my
going to be
adventures
here.
have become episodic as Captain Kirk telegraphed us. Like, yeah, we know, very cute.
Ben Vereen is going to be here.
Marina is going to be there. That's awesome.
Ben Vereen.
The Unfiltered Greek should be the title of her panels because she's
no.
You want to know what sucked? Let me tell you.
Ben Vereen.
Ben Vereen.
Oh,
yeah. Why?
I didn't know Ben Vereen was still alive. I thought he was dead.
Yeah, Commander Edward LaForge from Next Gen.
Okay.
Yeah.
He was Geordi's dad. That's right. Absolutely. That's right. That's awesome. Ben Vereen, 1 episode.
Okay, just
wasn't he hit by? He was hit. He was hit by
a car. Yeah, years ago.
David Foster was the driver of the car.
All of that is correct. Yes, the music composer and the man who created one of the Olympic themes for the Winter Games years ago. And yes, David Foster.
Wow.
The reason why Ben Vereen is there is because the 10 Speed and Brown Shoe convention got moved.
Yes, Jeff Goldblum will be there.
They're having it across the hall from the Rio.
Yeah. I like that show. They had a nice red car.
Oh God, that's awesome.
We have David Ajala Cleveland Booker from Discovery.
Oh, Booker, sure.
Yeah. From Picard, we have Evan Avagora. He was Elnor, the elf.
Yeah, the elf,
kid.
the elf Romulan. Yeah.
Hey Wayne, are there any cast members from the Orville?
The cool Star Trek show.
I think I stumped him, or he froze. Oh, okay.
No, I was just checking to see if the voice. No. But we got a few people from. We have JJ Abrams' best friend Greg Grunberg.
Greg Grunberg, who played Kirk's stepfather in the first Star Trek movie, and he's in Beyond.
He's JJ Abrams' best buddy.
And he's just like his good luck charm. He's in every production.
He is
pronounced Jabrams.
And he's a day. I like it. And he's a day older than me. He was at my show. Right. Hey, you just had me remember something. Oh, the Land of the Lost people are there. I know
they're not listed.
Well, they're supposed to be there because they left. They said they're going to Vegas. And David Gerald, who was just at my show, was not going to be there this time. And I was saying that because he's a Trek guy. I was telling Suntress this, Tribbles and all that stuff too. You wonder why they don't get a guy like that who's still active, who's still writing. And he wrote some of the animated Star Trek show in the 70s. Why don't you tap this guy in the shoulder and say, hey, why don't you do an episode of one of these cartoons? I don't know. I was just thinking that because I was talking to him. I'm like, why don't they use resources that are still around? Because there's not a lot of the old Trek writers left. I think he was really young when he wrote Tribbles. And
I think you're right.
He's maybe in his 70s now. So
also, Alan Dean Foster is still around because
he with the Disney stuff.
Yeah, and he did the first of all, he adapted all the animated from the original series, did all those paperbacks, and he pitched an idea for the Kelvin universe that was turned down as a movie, but they made it into a Kelvin novel.
Turned down as a movie, really?
Yes.
Oh wow!
And but he took the story and then he proposed it to the book division, and they loved it. And it is a Kelvin universe Trek novel that Alan Dean. It's an original story that Alan Dean Foster wrote, and much like David Gerald, it's like, why isn't somebody tapping this guy to write an episode of one of these new shows? This guy's a genius. I have no idea. All I could say is it seems. I wish Julie and Shauna were freer to speak, and I don't want to hurt their chances to get a job. Let me tell you a story that I learned from interviews of late, and I will not name the source, but this man helped create Discovery's opening title sequences. So you got that kind of constitutional looking paper.
Yeah.
You had all the designs of the weapons and the ships and all that stuff. Okay. So this was, given to this group that makes opening sequences. They present their ideas to Alex Kurtzman, who, as we all know, is not only the showrunner, but also the
Star Trek god.
Star Trek god. In fact, he just got his contract got extended.
Oh, wow. Really?
5 years and $900 million from CBS and Paramount. So they show him the opening sequence, what their ideas are for Discovery. And it's essentially what we've seen.
Yeah.
And Kurtzman sees him. He's like, this is great, but let's even go further. Let's really go through even more history. And the guys go, what do you mean? And he's like, well, let's really go back to the beginnings of flight. And let's show the Wright brothers, Kitty Hawk, and let's show the NASA space program. And he's throwing all these ideas, and they're like,
sounds familiar.
They already did that in Enterprise.
Yeah. They're like, that's the opening to Enterprise. And he's like, oh, really? Oh, really? Oh, really? This is the guy in charge of Star Trek?
So they didn't do it because they couldn't get the right
opening to Enterprise? Yeah. The fuck?
They're ripping themselves off.
What the fuck?
They didn't do it because they couldn't get the rights from Enterprise. That's probably why they didn't do it.
No.
Probably. That's scary.
Stupid. And once again, that's who, I don't know about on Prodigy, but that's who's flying the ship in general, kids. So even more and by the way, that's why I'm sure Alex Kurtzman has never heard of David Gerald. My real question is, and I don't know if you got a chance to ask and get an on the record answer, Mitch, but what he thought of when they took the tribbles and now they're little like cannibal man-eating like assholes.
So. I didn't ask him about that. He had scripts at his table. He was selling some of the scripts that he wrote from various shows and such. But you wonder, because I think obviously he doesn't get a cut in any of that merchandise for all the tribble stuff. I know.
For hire. Yeah.
I know.
No,
but they milk that.
Yeah, but again, I'm sure that's what got him the meeting that eventually led to Land of the Lost.
Yeah, no doubt.
That's always my argument with, and not an argument, but and they're, I'm sure they're both well aware of it. But when I've spoken to Dave Gibbons about Watchmen, it's like, yeah, it sucks, David. You guys deserve to have the rights back for what you created. But that said, because of what you've created, you could walk into any studio and be like, you might want to have a meeting with me. You might have heard of me. I created Watchmen.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah. So, and Gerald, I mean, even those Lands of the Lost, I was watching in hopes that I was going to do the panel, Mitch, and everything. I was rewatching and looking at descriptions of old episodes. And it's like, they have much higher concepts of science fiction shows than what Discovery and Picard
for a Saturday morning kids show. It was like highbrow entertainment. Yeah. And they just not only he was, I think DC Fontana wrote it, but I know there was a couple other noted sci-fi guys, like I'm not going to say Larry Niven, but there was somebody up there that was, you'd be like, really? He wrote for that show? So
yeah. No,
we were smarter kids back in the 70s when we watched.
That's TV. What I was going to say is regarding Prodigy, I'll be very interested to see how high-minded the episodes are, because I really think that a lot of those shows really did try to be much more experimentative. And
like Doctor Who, they know they had a low budget, so they had to write good stories because it's like a radio drama. You have to use your imagination. So because you can't show the $20 million dinosaur, let's write a small bottle show that's thought-provoking, or like a Twilight Zone. Like Twilight Zone didn't have big budgets, but they had great story writing. So I mean, that's all you need. But
I prefer the BBC version of Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy versus the movie.
Oh God,
absolutely.
The movie schlock. It's not.
Well, they
glossed over it.
Yeah. It's a shame. The only thing I will say for the movie is the opening song where they use the dolphin "So Long and Thanks for All the Fish." That was a cute bit.
I remember Dan Aykroyd being attached to that in the 80s. He was going to try to make Hitchhiker's Guide for so many years. And I was like, I always wonder what that would have been like.
Steven there we go. David Gerald had a big falling out with Roddenberry when they were creating Next Generation. It may have soured him on Trek. I don't know. Yes, it would be great for him to write for the series and go to cons. Yes. Well, he still goes to cons.
Man. Yeah, he was just here. I know that for a fact.
Yeah.
I got his hotel bill. We'll see it. So.
And of course, although I don't think he ever had any problems with Roddenberry, all of a sudden his name escapes me. The guy who did Star Trek 6, the guy who directed it, and
Myers,
Nicholas Myers. So he came back, and they were developing a con series, and unfortunately, didn't work out.
Why? Well, this. You guys own this. Why did they replace? What was the guy's name? Gene Kuhn or something? The last season, or Fred? Why did they replace? They just gave up, and NBC said, "Get this guy out of here," and we got somebody else for the last season.
No,
what was no?
He took over a lot of the day-to-day stuff. I think he left. I think he left. I don't know why he left, but really midway through season 1 and all of season 2, he was the day-to-day showrunner. Even though Roddenberry's name was still on it and stuff. And then they, at the end of season 2, they brought John Meredith Lucas in to kind of show run. And then season 3 was, of course, the notorious Fred Freiberg. Who also produced the second season of Space 1999.
Yeah, no, I know that
show.
Yeah.
So, hey, I'm not done yet. Hold my beer. Let me get a crack at
the man was booed off stage once for that. That's sad.
I've heard that. That's the Glorious experts always bring up, unfortunately, like Fred Freiberg at conventions. So
what's funny? What's funny? You say that because you're like, how can a show change such direction like Space 1999? Adrian Paul was just here last week, and I talked to him about a show called War of the Worlds that he used to be on. Remember, it's a syndicated show. It was based on the George Powell movie. Yeah. The first season was really good because it was like the alien invasion, and it wasn't a big special effects show. And then the second season started like a totally new show, and it was like in the future, like a like a Mad Max type of thing, like Blade Runner. They were running around with aliens. They had laser guns. And I said to him, what the hell happened to that show? He's like, that's what happens when you get a different producer that comes in and they think they know everything. They threw everything that was done out the window and really just started from square one or page one. Yeah. And I said, it sucked. It really did. I actually liked the old show and then the new one because John Delancey was the voice of one of the aliens on there. Every week, the three big alien things would get in a circle and they would talk to each other. And Q was one of them. But
they're showing that at 5 a.m. your time.
Oh, yeah?
On MeTV Plus, which is the third MeTV network that only started in May.
Okay. So I always wonder what happened to that show. But
David Ellis,
how do you get all these MeTV channels? I only have one.
I only got one.
Well, because they're all based here in Chicago, so I think that's why they get it's easier for them to grab immediate local affiliates as a starter. So, I mean, all the different UHF channels we have here in Chicago also have digital channels. Mm-hmm. So, therefore, the platforms are available. And, yeah, I mean, in my case, I'm getting it through Comcast's local channel package. But, yeah, believe me, it was a surprise to me. It's like MeTV Plus. And I'm like, what the hell's MeTV Plus?
Well, they don't have to pay a lot of residuals on all these old reruns, do they? I mean, that's why they have so many of these.
I'm confused by that, too, because many people have told me a lot of these shows are public domain, not the newer shows, right. Not War of the Worlds and things like that.
No.
But I would imagine that their prices come down given how many successive seasons of better television shows are available.
Right.
That I would imagine to grab these shows is not very expensive.
Okay.
I don't know.
That's a good question. I should have asked him how much does he get the residual check in the mail when it shows on MeTV.
Yeah, I have no idea. But God, I don't even know who syndicated it. Was that a Canadian show, Wayne?
I think it was. I remember it was on it wasn't on one of the WBs or the Paramount. It was when they had like Tales of the Dark Side.
Yeah.
And a lot of monsters. Yeah, it was right. Yeah. Just when it started up like in the early 90s, and it was like War of the World. The Swamp Thing was another syndicated show, I think.
Oh, that was TBS.
What's that?
TBS?
TBS had Swamp Thing.
They did?
Oh, yeah. But
the USA Network.
Oh, no, USA Network. That's it. Yeah, I remember they had that. I don't know whatever happened to that thing, but they had their own original programming too at one point.
Yeah, no, I mean, because of the success of shows like Next Generation. Go ahead.
No, Gerald did that. Didn't he do that show with Walter Koenig, the Canadian show called like Star Lost or something? Remember there was like a Star Trek thing in the 70s?
Lost, that was with Keir Dula from...
Keir Dulé?
Yeah.
Yes, I remember that. It was like a weird. I think that was a Canadian show.
That was Canadian.
Yes.
When I was a kid, that you should show that. I don't know if it lasted more than a season, but it was like a Star Trek-y type of thing.
A season.
Okay. Yeah.
I do know.
Where's that show now?
I don't know. I do know that War of the Worlds was originally made by. I think it was made by MGM, and I wonder if that was their syndication division.
Oh,
I'm looking it up actually.
He told me the guy that was the star of that show just passed away. I think he was the son of like a famous actress. The lead in that, Jared something was his name. Wasn't he the son of like I don't know, like Margaret
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah. He had curly hair. He was the lead guy.
Okay, Paramount, much like Star Trek, did do War of the Worlds.
Oh, it was a Paramount show.
I guess so. Obviously, again, because of the success of Star Trek, that's why. I mean,
what year was it? Does it say?
Hold on.
No, I'm just because I'm wondering if they had Next Generation going, Deep Space Nine. Boy, they were spending money back then.
I remember they were on about the same time.
Yeah,
like
1988 to 1990.
Oh wow. Yeah. Oh yeah. Next Generation. Okay, yeah.
Huh. No, that makes sense.
Because Next Generation started in like 87, 88.
87.
Like
yeah, I remember in college I was watching it. Yeah.
And then later on we got DS9 and Babylon 5.
Yeah, and then there was those crazy Trek. Remember Tech War and all that Shatner stuff?
I was going to say, speaking of Shatner, wasn't it BJ and the Bear? Wasn't he the star there?
Greg Evigan. Greg Evigan was on Tech War. Yeah, that lasted for a couple years or a couple movies. That was on for a while.
Yeah, they made TV movies of those.
Yeah, Sci-Fi Channel, I think, had it. Huh.
Yep.
I don't know. It's just fun. There was a lot of science fiction back in the 90s. And you think there's a lot now. There was like rogue shows that would just show up and you never saw what happened.
And you'd have to search through the dial to find out where these shows were.
Huh. Absolutely.
Way back when, Wayne, we had this thing here in the States called TV Guide, where we could look and see where they were. Yeah.
You'd circle them to remind yourself that.
In the Lost Boys, Barnard Hughes, the grandfather, read TV Guide. You don't have to watch TV.
It's got all the shows in them, like a little digest type of thing. Well, we digress. And by the way, the Star Trek cartoons from the 70s are on Netflix, right?
They're on every platform.
Oh, they're on all of it now?
Yes.
Okay. I watched them like 2 years ago.
They released them on Blu-ray.
Oh, they did? Any features, any extras?
No, same stuff as from the DVDs.
But again, if you search your podcast directories, much like TV Guide, there are a ton of podcasts that if they don't dedicate an entire series to the animated show, you could find commentaries all over the place, interviews and things. And again, Alan Dean Foster was on the Trexperts show and talked a lot about the animated series with them. And they've also talked in general about the show. I love the original. Before we get to Lower Decks, I love the original animated show.
Oh yeah, it was great.
It only angers me when people, that cheap show, and it's like,
no, it wasn't.
Well, it was in terms of the animation, and I'll give them that. But Saturday morning animation had to be cheap.
Yeah,
because that's how you could afford to make it. But also, they weren't cheap when they went to amazing science fiction writers.
And the cast, most of the cast.
You had voiceover. I mean, that's probably unheard of back then to have all those actors.
They were going to be cheap about the cast because originally Lou Scheimer and Norm Prescott of Filmation only wanted to hire Shatner, Nimoy, and Kelly, and then they would have their plan was to use James Doohan and then do a bunch of different roles, which he did as other aliens and other officers, and also Nurse Chapel, his wife, Majel Barrett, and not hire Nichelle Nichols and not hire Takei. And actually, it was Nimoy who stepped up and said, "You better hire them if you want me, or I'm not doing it."
But Koenig wasn't on it. That's why they had that other guy, right? That
Eric
thing.
Helix.
Yeah, the
Eric. Oh yeah.
Now also, you know about this stuff, John, because you're a radio guy. Do they pay differently because it's only audio and not?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so it was like scale or something. It wasn't a lot of money.
I mean, I have no idea what animation voiceover rates were back then. That's a good question.
I can't imagine it was a lot because Shatner was doing those butter commercials. Remember when we were kids? He used to do that margarine stuff. He was doing like the masquerade party. It was like a game show or something. He'd come on with a rubber face and stuff, and Barbary Coast wasn't taking off. So he was doing anything for $1.
Yeah, well, again, he had 3 kids that he was trying to raise.
So I'm just imagining like a couple $100 an episode, maybe. I mean, 1,000.
I have no idea.
That's a question to ask him, Wayne. If you go to a panel with Shatner, say, "Hey, how much did you used to get?" Ask Sulu. One of those guys might tell you because Shatner won't. But did you get paid a lot?
Because I don't even know if it was covered necessarily by the acting guilds, like Screen Actors Guild.
Will they get residuals from voiceover work?
Probably not.
Probably not.
Really?
And again, I mean, it really wasn't until like the 2000s that it seemed like animation acting finally was reaching levels of union acceptance and stuff, and that union standards and things. So I have honestly, you're asking the wrong guy. But
no, I'm just curious. Like, even when they do video games too, do they get like paid by the game? Like every sale, like they get a cut of the sale.
Remember they were contracts are all different now because they're all individualized. Where before it used to be a blanket contract, you'd be hired for, Nimoy would be hired for a season or contracted for 5 seasons or whatever, and then whatever they produced is what they produced. Yeah.
Well, should we move on to Lower Decks?
Yeah, sure.
Why?
I know.
I'll admit I'm excited, and I hate Darmok at Talagra and Shaka where the walls fell. But as I understand it, they're going to introduce a new crew member who is from that Paul Whitfield alien race that speaks in metaphor. That's funny. All right.
The one thing I wanted to say is being so down on the first season, which I loathe the first season, really do. And people out there are like, I liked it. And I'm like, why? I watched this trailer and I'm like, all right, they got me. I think it's going to be funny. It might be funny. I hope it's funny. Especially that sequence with her and her mother, like when she puts her in the
pulling her away.
Center. Yeah, like you're gonna have me dragged away to the brig right now. I am. I love you too. Hope you change. I'm not gonna. That.
Yeah,
I thought was funny.
That. I saw the one with Riker. Didn't you see the one with Riker and?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was trying to get whatever the guy. He was transporting him, and he was screaming all through the transport.
Oh, that's weird. I didn't see that. How many trailers are there? I watched one. I didn't see that.
No, it was the same one.
I think that's the one that I sent you, Mitch. I'm not sure.
I did before you sent. No, before you sent it, I just did a YouTube search for a trailer for season 2 of Lower Decks, and it had a different thing where they're like, "Oh, we miss Bomer. Where is he?" And then they flash over to the Titan, and he's screaming.
Did you see Tom Paris? Because he was in it.
Yeah.
No.
I watched the wrong one.
You didn't see that? You watched the
wrong one? There's one on YouTube that says season 2 trailer.
Like the Franklin Mint plates, the Star Trek plates of old.
Yeah.
And he's got a collectible of Tom Paris, and it speaks.
But he's probably. It looks like he's hallucinating, which I thought was funny. But again, like when they set up their first season and they kind of showed it, I'm like, oh, this looks like it could be funny, and then it was wah wah.
Yeah, they probably show the best parts. That's
right.
A trailer.
Show
the best stuff.
That's what I'm like really kind of cringing about, because I'm like, this is what they did to us the first time around. Yeah.
I of the first season, I do think I like the last episode best. It's based on what we've seen on the trailers, and I wasn't expecting Mariner to change that much. But I mean, so she's still kind of a jerk. I hope they elevate, and I can't even remember their names. The blue girl, and
I was just thinking we got to go remember all their names again.
And the Asian guy. Right. That plays the engineer, and I thought, honestly, I liked their characters better than I liked Boimler and Mariner. So I'm hoping they get more story moving forward. We'll see. And also,
isn't it sad that we still?
That said, we don't. I'm sitting there. I don't remember their names at all. I'm like Winchester.
But even on
Rutherford. Rutherford was one.
Absolutely one of them. Very good, Mitch.
But even on Discovery, and that's 3 seasons in. And I still don't know
anybody on Discovery. The Doctor.
Right.
The black guy on the bridge. His name starts with a B. Oh yeah, Tendi. Very good.
Tendi. That's
Tendi
it. Tendi
and Rutherford. David Ellis right here. Very good. Very nice.
There you go.
I wish your prize. You don't have to watch the next season of Lower Decks.
No,
that's your.
You know what I just realized? I got to subscribe to CBS Plus again because I turned it off after whatever the last show. Because there was nothing on it to watch. I was like, "What? There's no series." I said to my wife, "You want to watch this good fight thing?" She's like, "No." I'm like, "Okay, that's
like
it."
That show. And they do have a lot of reruns like Perry Mason and which is on MeTV. And Odd Couple and Taxi.
You know what's weird about the Odd Couple? I remember watching. They don't have all the episodes. They just have certain ones. I'm like, is there a reason why? Have they been banned or something?
No, it's not that they've been banned. They have too much music in them.
Really?
And they can't clear the rights to the music.
But it ran for years when we used to watch it in syndication without a problem.
That's for over-the-air television, and streaming is its own deal. And just like DVDs was its own deal. That's what kept the original WKRP from being on DVDs for so long, because they couldn't clear the rights to all the music.
And Northern Exposure's got that problem too.
Miami Vice had the same
they pulled
problem.
all the music out of the DVDs and they just inserted some generic shit. You're like, what is that?
Beavis and Butthead, they did the same thing. They pulled all the videos.
Really?
Yep.
Yeah. Well, they used to make fun of the videos. That was the whole show, right?
But I used to think
now they just show the cartoon parts, and it's like the whole episode's like 11 minutes long now.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, what are you gonna do? Yes, all right. David's a little slow, but he's like, so my prize is not watching a show I want to watch. Got it. Yeah.
You're lucky. You'll thank us later.
Lower Decks episode. That's how the joke landed. That's right. So instead of laughing,
now, if you want to watch good science fiction, Rick and Morty.
Never saw it.
Amen.
Well, it's the same guy you said, right?
That's the guy that writes that it is Mike McMahon, who is the showrunner for Lower Decks. He was one of the principal writers for the first 4 seasons.
That's why I'm hoping second season kind of picks up a little bit.
every show.
I'm all for it. Yeah, there's some shows that go through growing pains, and their first season is not their stellar season, and I'm really hoping that this is one of them because it has real potential for me. It really does, but it just like wah, wah,
Hey Wayne, are any of the voice actors from Lower Decks there?
No.
That's interesting.
And they're not here.
Wow.
What is Ed? Is that a show?
Ed Sullivan. Wade. Ed Sullivan.
Ed Sullivan.
No.
No, Letterman and Ed.
No, because Ed Sullivan reruns, they were very smart, and the release to perform on Ed Sullivan gave them all the rights to all the performances on the Ed Sullivan show in perpetuity. And that's why I don't know about DVDs, but as far as a MeTV, one of their big or not MeTV, Decades, another one of those MeTV kind of channels, shows the Ed Sullivan show. And, they had everybody on. It's literally, it seems to be the only variety show where you can see the musical performances and stuff. So, that's why.
Is that why you don't see things like the Osmonds and all those variety shows we watched as a kid because of the music rights?
Yep.
Did not know that.
Well, and again, like with the Odd Couple, it's not like they had, Bruce Springsteen doing Born to Run. I mean, except for they had Paul Williams.
Yes.
Yes. But yeah, it seems like because it's them singing, like a lot of times it was Tony Randall doing songs and stuff.
Right.
But yeah, unfortunately, you got to watch them on TV to get those episodes. And those are some of the funniest episodes. God, they even had one where David Steinberg's the host, he's got a talk show. And when he meets Felix, they bond over old-time radio theme songs, and they sing the Little
Orphan Annie. Yeah, they can't sing that.
And he comes on David Steinberg's talk show on the Odd Couple episode, and he's got stage fright. Yeah. And to coax him out of it, David Steinberg gets to start singing the Little Orphan Annie song, and it's classic Tony Randall, and it's so great. And he really does go from really being bashful to demonstratively performing this Little Orphan Annie song. And it's one of the best Odd Couple moments.
And they can't show that now?
What's that?
They can't show that because they don't have the rights to it.
They don't show that episode on Paramount Plus. So no. And Mario gives a description of what Ed was. Ed was this
Oh,
bowling alley.
I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah.
The guy from the Flash.
Played Tom Cavanaugh. It was a funny show. Really funny show.
Yeah, the big talk in Hollywood is with the possible strike is because of streaming and trying to determine rights.
Who's on strike now? The writers again?
No one's on strike yet.
Yeah.
But the new contracts are coming up with the Directors Guild, the Actors Guild, and the Writers Guild. And I just talked to Mark Guggenheim, and he pretty much laid it out. And because we were talking about the whole Disney Scarlett Johansson thing. I mean, and that's the problem. These deals were made before the technology advanced. And, the business guys are like, well, it's not our fault. And obviously the unions are like, well, we're making you more money in these new areas. We deserve our cut. And
isn't the Johansson thing about she wants some of the box office because of the Disney Plus pay-per-view thing for Black Widow? Isn't that what that's all about?
No, she had a deal with the box office. What she doesn't have a deal on is profits from streaming.
Right.
So that is the deal.
So they released them at the same time. So she's getting the box office percentage, but she's not getting the streaming percentage.
Right. Because people are saying, I mean, God, Suicide Squad, they announced the numbers for the weekend, and it didn't do that well because people like me stayed home and watched it on HBO Max.
Unless you're in Canada and you had to go see it in a theater.
I saw it in the theaters, yes.
But also because, I'm sure that the box office would have been better for Suicide Squad if the spikes weren't happening, which is, I think, what's keeping a lot of people out of
sure it is.
Out of large gatherings. And you can't blame them.
I want to see The Green Knight, but I'm not rushing to my theater to see it.
Right.
No.
I think there were 6 people in the theater when I saw Suicide Squad.
No, it was pretty packed when Ordway and I saw it Thursday, but not sold out. And then you got Shang-Chi coming, or Shang-Chi, whatever they call it nowadays. But it's coming out, 3 weeks? I don't know how that's going to do with everything that's happening.
But having Black Widow come out on Disney Plus was great because I'll pay the $30 to see it at home. So I don't have to go to a crowded movie theater.
Sure.
It's not my preferred way of seeing the movie. I would have wanted to see it on a big screen.
Yeah, it was cool
because I look forward to that. But I'm not, Why
How long do you get to watch that stuff? Is that for a month or is that like
I think they leave
show?
it up for like a certain time, like maybe like 3 weeks or something like that.
3 weeks
No,
you get
longer.
to watch it?
I think it's longer.
I don't know what it is.
It's released on Disney Plus
yeah,
itself.
I think it is 30 days, guys. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And then come October, it will be properly.
Yeah, then it's going to be on.
Disney
Right.
Plus.
It's like at the end of this month is when we get to see Cruella goes to Disney Plus for everybody instead of
okay.
Premier Access.
Yeah.
Right.
Did that Rock movie do really well? I know we're not doing movie stuff, but that was a big Disney picture.
I have no idea what the numbers were, but I did notice on Disney Plus that much like Black Widow, you can choose.
I saw it too, and I was like, oh, maybe I'll watch it here because I really didn't want to go see it. But I'm like, do I want to spend $30 on this?
Yeah, I'm not gonna. I'm not. I'll wait for it to be.
Well, you wait for a couple months and it'll show up. Yeah.
Right.
But I did see on Disney Plus Stuntman about the guy that recreated Evel Knievel's Snake River Canyon.
Yeah.
And that's a really cool movie, and it's on regular Disney Plus, and I absolutely recommend that.
I saw that.
I thought that was great. Wasn't there more Trek news? What did you text me, Mitch?
They're doing the Trek Starfleet Academy show after like 50 years of talking about it.
Yeah, finally.
Which I thought Janeway Prodigy was going to be. I thought that was supposed to be like her teaching young Starfleet people, but I guess I was totally wrong.
No, as I always heard, it was alien kids that were just kids find an abandoned Starfleet ship and haul off into space.
No, but now you're going to get a Starfleet Academy show, which is like talked about since Next Generation when they had that whole thing with, what was his name? Well, it was Tom Paris, but he had a different Akano or something was the character.
Nick Akano. Yeah, but yeah, but really everyone assumed, especially the way DS9 ended with O'Brien going back to teach at the Academy, that it's like, well, that's the next show.
Yeah.
And it never happened. And it's like, I mean, again, this is such an easy opportunity to invite back old cast members as teachers at the Academy that can just pop in for one adventure or whatever. I think it's a no-brainer. And again, I have no idea why it took this long.
Weren't they going to do a Star Trek Academy with Kirk and Spock? Like originally way back. And when they wanted to reboot the series, they wanted to go to Star Trek Academy, but with Kirk and Spock as young cadets.
Yeah, yes. I remember that.
Harv Bennett, the guy who ended up producing the movies after the first movie, he had proposed that for either Star Trek 6 or the movie after 6 before Generations was greenlit. That was his proposal. Those 50-year mission oral history books from 5 years ago that Mark Altman co-wrote are incredible. And they talked to everybody and found enough archival material for people like Roddenberry and others who are dead. But, like you really do get a full kind of look at behind the scenes what was going on, positive and negative. I mean, it even has some of the weird petty shit like Nana Vister was carrying what's his face's baby.
Fajit. Yeah, Alexander
Bashir.
Yeah,
Bashir. I knew that.
Yep.
Were they married at one point, or they
no?
I don't
think they were married when she was pregnant.
They were just dating, and
they were dating. Yeah,
things happen.
Hey, didn't they do a bunch of novels though about Starfleet Academy? I'm sure they did that, right?
I think they
did.
They
have here and there. Yeah.
Okay.
They did some comics too. Starfleet Academy. I remember those.
Yeah, and recently, actually, there was even a newer IDW Starfleet Academy series where I believe they followed from the Kelvin universe Jada, the alien that they meet in Star Trek Beyond. They follow her because they take her with at the end of Star Trek
Let me guess,
Beyond.
she's a motorcycle biker chick.
Yeah, right.
Exactly.
God, that was stupid.
Montgomery
Did you guys ever pick up the DVD-ROM of all the comic books?
No,
there's such a thing.
It is awesome.
You mean all the Dell books?
It'll have the Dell, Go Key,
Marvel,
DC, Marvel, Wildstorm.
How did they pull that out? I mean, all those licenses.
They scanned them all. It was great.
Malibu.
It was like when the same company scanned the Marvel books.
I remember that. Yeah.
but they also scan the Star Trek.
That's cool.
Huh.
Eagle Moss, the model company, has been collecting the comics.
They're going to be here.
Yeah, no, I told you they had
sense.
those volumes of like you can get the comics like in a little hardcover. You put it all together, it makes a big Star Trek thing on the bookshelf.
They're not worth getting up and walking over to grab, but they are literally on my shelves. The ones the Eagle Moss ones I have. I have the Delta Flyer. I have the Defiant.
Mm-hmm.
And then I also got from that one episode of Voyager, the ship that the Andy Dick artificial emergency medical hologram is on.
Yeah.
They send the doctor to this ship, and it turns out that it's been taken over by Romulans, and he and Andy Dick have to seize control and everything back. And I just love the design of that ship. So those are the three that I have.
And there's the different sizes too, because they're going into the XL sizes now, where they're going back
for the chubby fans.
For the chubby fans,
exactly. It's $2 more.
It's $2 more. Yeah.
So yes.
So what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to send you the program guide when I get it, and you can tell me which ones you want me to sort of sit in for you.
That'd be great.
Oh, look, Shatner did something. Hey,
Shatner did some Starfleet Academy novels with Judith Vingar, Reeve Stevens.
Oh, okay.
And that husband and wife team are incredible Star Trek writers. They've written great novels and actually episodes of Enterprise as well. They're very, very talented writers, and really helped Shatner also write those post Generations books. Where
I read those
novels.
Where they brought Kirk back to life.
Him and he became part of the 24th century.
Yep, I read that one.
So,
yeah, the little nanites or something made Kirk come back, and then he fought with the freaking Borg Queen. It was like crazy stuff. Romulans were in it. It was like all out. They were pretty good though. I mean, it was nuts.
Fan wish fulfillment. Absolutely,
pretty much. Yeah.
And I think should have killed Kirk, and he gets to continue to be.
Yeah,
vital in the 24th century.
If I remember correctly, they had the Doomsday Machine show up, and they said the Doomsday Machine was created to destroy the Borg. It was like this big, King Kong versus Godzilla type of thing. I was like, that's a pretty damn good idea. Why didn't they ever use that?
That's the best thing about the novels. They will take various plot threads and figure out a way of getting more out of it. I remember one of my favorite Peter David novels is called The Rift. And it starts off as a Captain Pike era Enterprise story. It goes forward and becomes a movie original cast era story. And along with the older original cast, they have Ambassador Fox, who was a guy from the original series. And they even bring back Dr. Daystrom after the M5 incident. But obviously he must have redeemed himself or was forgiven for past errors, because obviously during the Picard era, the Daystrom Institute is still very important. But there's Daystrom, and he's kind of a broken man and is on this mission and doesn't talk a lot. And then a few times when they need his brilliancy,
that's cool,
shows up. So it's called The Rift. I always say Peter David is one of the best Star Trek.
No, he is. He did a couple Q ones. It was so good that I was like, was this a real episode or was this a book? They had like the Q Olympics or some weird thing once. I was reading it. I'm like, wait, was that on TV? And then they had Trelane show up, and Trelane was a Q, and they had that going on. And I'm like, this is really very creative. And I'm like, wow, they could have made an episode of this thing.
Reasonably certain that's called Q Squared.
Yes.
And it has a bunch of alternate timelines happening at the same time.
Yep.
And one of them is Jack Crusher never dies, Beverly's husband, and he's the captain of the Enterprise, and Picard's his first officer, and Picard and Beverly are having an affair because Jack is so driven by career that he's not paying attention to Beverly anymore. And it's awesome. It's a fantastic book, unbelievable book.
I rememthat one. Yes.
Yeah, and again, we mentioned.
Well, earlier, we're talking about how bad these shows are. And you just sit there and talk about how a couple of the novels and comics, like if they only adapted that shit, we wouldn't be swearing about freaking Discovery every damn week,
And speaking of the novels, they're ending the continuity that the novels have created after the shows in some fashion. And there's several book crossover that's going to start in the fall. I can look it up and I can give you guys the title. But I'm a little confused by that because I certainly hope it doesn't mean that they're going to stop doing books during the various shows eras. But I'll look this up. But yeah, I mean they are ending some sort of continuity.
Well, didn't they establish that years ago that they had no bearing on the shows? That's like a separate universe. So what difference does it make? I mean, you could do whatever you want, really.
Well, that's why I'm confused by that too. But I'm going to look this up. Star Trek Marvel crossover because it sounds really cool.
Yeah.
Because
I didn't realize they're still making as many as they used to. Because during the 90s, they were pumping those things out like I couldn't keep up with them. That's what happens. There was just too many. You say there's Star Wars. There's just too many of these expanded universe books. I couldn't keep up, and I just walked away because I'm like, I don't know what's going on anymore. You had to read like 16 different books that were all interconnected to follow it, like a comic book. Can't do everything.
Well, I do know that IDW in October is launching a Mirror War storyline.
Okay.
So there's that.
Yeah, that was just announced in the previews catalog.
There you go. Yeah, do you know more about it, Wayne?
Yeah, no, I just know it's actually on the cover of previews. On the catalog itself has the Picard.
Is
from the Mirror Universe.
Are the Tiptons? David and Scott, are they writing it? Do we know?
Oh, I don't know who's writing it. I just remember seeing the cover.
That's cool. Here, I'm still looking over here.
Whatever happened to that Quentin Tarantino rated R Star Trek? Is that dead? I'm just saying that was a big thing for years.
That's the final film for Tarantino.
Oh, he ain't gonna do that then. No, he'll do his own original thing. He won't do that.
I don't honestly. No, I think it was a sincere idea float. But I mean, since then, Noah Hawley was going to do a Star Trek movie, and it's not happening. And now they've got a new woman that they've announced as the new director for a Star Trek 4. I think all these announcements are done to float for investments.
Pretty much.
And if when they don't happen, then they move on to the next.
They forget about it. Like,
yeah, the writers are Scott and David Tippin.
That makes sense.
For the Mirror War.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Sorry guys, I'm still trying to find for books because I actually this intrigues me. Like for instance, Ben Sisko is back in the Deep Space Nine post series novels that they do, and he's even in Starfleet.
And they when did he come back? Like how long was he gone?
I don't know how many.
I know.
And truly, I haven't read those books. I do know that Jake went looking for him after a certain amount of time. Here it is. So it's called Star Trek Coda. And book 1 is called Moments Asunder. The crews of Jean-Luc Picard, Benjamin Sisko, Ezri Dax has a ship now, and William Riker unite to prevent a cosmic level apocalypse, only to find that some fates really are inevitable. Starfleet's finest face a challenge unlike any other. Tomorrow is doomed. Once again, time is coming apart.
Yes.
Countless alternate and parallel realities are under attack, weakening and collapsing from relentless onslaught. If left unchecked, the universe faces an unstoppable descent toward entropy.
I hate when that happens.
Yeah. Hey, Wayne, you said Brent Spiner's there?
Yes, he is.
Well, you said it's Next Generation, but he's Picard, season 1. I mean, that was the whole story of Data dying. So I wonder if he's going to do his panel on that.
You don't think he'll do both?
No, I think that's the biggest thing that's happened to Data ever is him finally dying.
But it's
in the previous convention, Spiner would be there with Michael Dorn and LeVar Burton, and they'd all sort of pal around and chit chat.
Yeah.
So since he's here by himself, it's going to be interesting. He might be on the panel. He might be on the Picard panel with the other Picard actors.
Sure.
That are here.
Oh, yeah, I'd imagine so, yeah.
But yeah, regardless, I'm sure that, I love the fans that are so dedicated that they do videotape the panels. So,
yeah. So that's great. So I'll be able to watch these on YouTube. That's cool.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, that's kind of why, like I said, everyone is polite, thank God. And I think the fandom that does show up is still positive. But I'm sorry, one of my favorite moments from a year or two ago was when Wilson Cruz, the doctor from Discovery, is like, well, we're all about diversity and inclusion. And it's like, so were we. I don't know how to break it.
We already did that 20 years ago. You might not have seen
it. But it was okay. The audience ate it up.
Yeah.
I don't know, Wayne. I was watching those videos, and like when John Billings was like,
but the bulk. I was in the back when I heard him talk.
Okay.
I
mean, again, I heard applause when John Billingsley's like, I don't know how to break it to you, but my character was gay.
Yeah.
Oops. Or bisexual, if you forgive the generality on my part of saying gay, but I don't know, whatever.
He's hilarious, like on his own.
Oh, Billingsley?
Oh my God, he's insane.
Yeah. He's like a New York guy because I see him as.
Is he really?
Yeah.
I always assumed he was a Canadian guy because he.
Well, he might be originally, but
I'm just saying, and again, maybe because there are more Canadian science fiction productions. But I've just seen him in a lot of Canadian-produced science fiction.
Okay, there's more Canadian there's more Canadian television productions and movie because of the film credits we give.
Right.
Let's be right.
You know what else? There's more Canadians in Canada than there is anywhere else.
That's true.
Thank you.
I don't know about that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Franco all right, they're in Detroit. I lied.
Franco needs a confirmation from Randy.
We're gonna check on that fact. Did someone look that up? Yeah.
Mark says that yes, Matt Shankman, who directed WandaVision, is the current director. Matt, I have to. Mark, I don't know, man. I thought I read that a woman was going to be directing the next Star Trek. So
maybe
I don't
changed
know.
It today. We don't know.
I can look up that up if you want. Mike Conrad says Star Trek Picard needs to have a timeline redo. Maybe Q in season 2 will make that happen. Well, something has broken the timeline in Picard season 2. That's why I'm wearing black. That's why 7 of 9 doesn't have an eyepiece anymore.
I don't believe Star Trek 4 is real until they have a release date. That's when you know it's. That's when you know shit's hitting the fan because they got money coming down and like, oh, we got to get this thing done. Got a date.
But did you notice that like when Q came on, he says, "My God, Picard, you look so old." And then you look at John. Whoa, dude, you got white.
I know.
Because he's the only person that when he picked a robot body said, "I want to have a 90-year-old body instead of getting a 20-year-old body." Picard.
I had to shave my COVID beard. It was driving me nuts.
Did you have a beard when you were here?
Yeah, I had a beard.
You had a beard at Terrificon?
It was all white, like I said the other night. I didn't even realize you shaved it off.
I didn't know. Yeah, thought you were going for that like Hobbit look,
with hair on my feet.
Yes. Melting.
Yeah.
So
we can be done. That's about it. I guess we'll find out.
Well, wait, did you do all of them? Did you do Prodigy, Lower Decks? Yeah. Oh, did you do? What about Didn't they have a season 4 trailer for
Discovery?
No, nothing yet.
Talk about it. It's nothing fine. I figure there's so much time until.
Nah, that's fine.
But I mean, yeah, I did send out a teaser to the guys to watch, and there's one out there. Again, a cataclysmically giant event threatening the entire universe.
Why can't they just have like a simple party or get together? Like we're gonna have tea and coffee next week.
I'm still looking forward to Strange New Worlds. I'm really looking forward to that.
They had that episode on season 2, and that's when Eyepiece Girl on Discovery had her mental breakdown.
Oh yeah.
When it was
no more parties,
no more dinner party. Yeah,
it was Star Trek Thanksgiving where we're all thankful that Michael Burnham exists.
Oh God, I haven't heard that name in so long.
And stuff.
No, we need more kitty cat flying the ship.
Booker,
because that cat is big enough to fly the ship.
That's a big cat. That's a big fat cat.
You know what's cool?
Hi, man.
Marvel's What If is on the 11th, so I'll be all excited to see that, and then I'll come crashing down like a drunk on a barroom floor on the 12th when Lower Decks premieres. It'll be like, yay, animation.
But then go back and watch Star Wars: The Bad Batch. That'll bring you back up.
That's true. You want to really go back up, just watch Ted Lasso. That'll bring you right back up.
That's true too. Season 2.
And if you want to go right back down, watch MODOK.
Oh yeah.
Is it bad? Oh God, I'm so glad you're talking about
this. It's the robot chicken guys, and I know Matt Steinrich and those guys, but the sense of humor. Yeah, but it's like in small doses, in little bits. That's funny. But when you drag it out over 10, 12 episodes, it got too much.
The animation's beautiful. It's
It
just,
is, but
just bad.
they had
story.
a couple good moments though when he hung out with the other lame villains at the bar. And
Oh,
they were
yeah.
like, that was funny. But then the overall show was just away, and it's a cliffhanger. You have to go watch next season. I'm like, we're good.
Well, as Doc says, why is Discovery always the show where
I know
there has to be a universal cataclysmic event? Well, have we all seen Suicide Squad?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. I like Suicide Squad fine.
Right.
I didn't love it because once again, you've got street level characters dealing with an Earth level problem, and it's like, can you just do? And again, shame on me for not enjoying the movie I was given and wanting something different. But I really would have liked, again, I just think, Harley Quinn with a sledgehammer is not going to help out in this kind of situation.
You're exactly right, because I said that to Ordway. I said, wait a minute, they have a whole army there with guns and everything. If they can't take out Starro, but 4 dudes can take, whatever, Rat Girl and the rest of them. I'm like, really? Come on, really? This big ass thing with the things, and that's what's gonna do it?
I thought it was clever, but it was missing a lot.
Yeah. And you could see the javelin thing a mile away. I'm not gonna, but you're like,
God,
okay.
yes. You knew what she was going to use it for.
Yep.
Saw that coming down Main Street.
Spoilers. Yeah.
But hey, come on.
Spoilers. It's not doing well.
You gotta love Weasel.
Weasel was the
Weasel
best.
was
Sean Gunn was great.
And Killer Shark.
Killer Shark is King Shark. Is it
King Shark? Oh my God, they hilarious.
No, I mean there were a lot of. I mean, honestly, I would give it 3 stars.
I drew a picture tonight because I did
Shark?
Is that Ratcatcher?
The two things I did. So I finished up my drawing. This is my Ratcatcher.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I'm going to be putting them up for sale this week. And
That's cool.
I did draw this because I was
I know.
Nice.
Num. He was cool. Sylvester Stallone, genius.
And the way they did the face for the shark.
Yeah.
It emoted. Like you could see feelings behind those eyes.
Yeah, you could see like the texture of his skin. It was great. I loved it. Yep.
You know what's so sad? After it's over, I look at Ordway and go, so what's DC got next? He's like, Batman. I go, oh, another Batman. Have we got anything else in that bag besides Batman movies? But
again, it's kind of what the complaint was about Fast and Furious 9, that the CGI is getting ridiculous.
Oh, I
like the CGI fine in Suicide Squad, but it's like, all right, here's another big honking, world-threatening CGI thing, rather than, and especially with the Suicide Squad, it's like, have their street level characters, have them face a street level problem.
Right. Polka Dot Man was the best. I liked him.
No,
Dave DeMalchin.
I loved parts of the movie. I thought there was some really fun stuff in there, but I think Johnny just hit the nail right on the head. The problem with the first one is that the story was really big. The problem with the second one is that the story was really big, and these were not the characters to be doing that. This is like Justice League level stuff. And
absolutely,
right.
Yeah. Yes. And you got the Suicide Squad. That was my issue with it.
It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense from the DC universe. You've got a world-threatening event. You call the Justice League. But
I think what the way it led up to it, and again, this is a little bit of a spoiler, but the way it led up to it, it wasn't that. It was them. So I could kind of see, the thinking behind it. That's why I'm not as upset with this one as I was the first one. But,
well, and I love Joel Kinnaman, or however you say his name.
Oh yeah, it's Rick Flag.
Because Colonel Flag, because he's so great in For All Mankind on Apple.
Yep.
And is the lead astronaut in that storyline.
He was in AMC's The Killing.
What's that?
He was in AMC's The Killing.
Oh, really?
The American adaptation of the Swedish The Killing.
Yeah. Yep.
No, I thought all the cast was fine. It was, and Cena as Peacemaker was good.
Very funny. Very funny. And Idris Elba, I'm so glad that they got him, and I love Idris Elba, and here's another great role for him. So
I don't know who the Ratcatcher girl was.
What I was really she's done a few things, but what I was really impressed with was there were so many characters.
Yeah,
they all really had their arc. And I thought that was very impressive. I felt for all of them. Their storylines were all the way through. again, we're on a Star Trek show talking.
Oh, I know.
Squad, but Margot Robbie was kind of pushed back to secondary status, which was fine.
Yeah,
which was fine, and it all worked out. But yeah, there were some moments where I was like, okay, but
Buzz and I were talking about this. This is Gunn's Guardians of the Galaxy that he wanted to do. Was the Suicide Squad?
Yeah.
Because you could take.
I was hoping he'd show different muscles for this movie rather than again another earth-shattering. I mean, it works for the Guardians, because they're on this galactic level playing field already,
right?
And they've got powers and various things. Again, I keep going back to the first movie, unfortunately, with Harley and her sledgehammer, and it's I don't know how much damage she's going to do with to Starro, let alone whatever the Enchantress was in the first movie.
My other big pet peeve about this movie is the first one was Suicide Squad, and this one was The Suicide Squad, and they should have really done something to kind of differentiate the two. I thought, but that's
that is true. It's like when they did Birds of Prey. I was going to say Birds of Prey, the Harley Quinn movie. Nobody called it Birds of Prey. We all went to see the Harley Quinn movie, and then when I got to the theater, I remember looking at the list. I go, "Which one's the Harley?" And the lady goes, "Oh no, it's called Birds of Prey." I go, "Well, somebody in marketing is getting fired on Monday because nobody knew what the hell the name of the movie was." And the same thing with this one. It's like you don't have to call it the Suicide Squad because the other one's still on.
Well, the
constant rotation.
The thing is that we know.
Yeah, we know.
But like somebody else, like my sister who's watching it, who doesn't have anything to do with comics, she's like, is this the same movie type thing?
Yeah, because it's on TBS like every couple weeks. I'll see it like in a rotation, like the Winter Soldier and the Suicide Squad. So like, oh, why do I have to go see it? It's on here again.
Yeah, that was not a good. That made me wonder why. That was a big misfire for me. Like, why are you doing this? Why did you name it something?
Why can't they be in another adventure or something?
It's almost like they just wanted to say the first one didn't take place.
Right.
So
this is the Suicide Squad.
But that's what I mean. It was very confusing. Is it a sequel? Is it a reboot? Is it like
I asked Ordway that. He said no, it's a continuation. I go, is it? Because I guess
it is because
I think story-wise they were really trying to thread that needle, which is understandable. Title-wise, what is it?
They could have called it Suicide Squad, Operation Corto Maltese, or
right.
Yes, yeah. Palm Clementif was not in Suicide Squad.
Yes, she was.
Asking. No, she wasn't.
Yeah, she.
Palm's not in it. Yeah. Where?
She was in it. Like she's in the bar scene. Like you see her briefly.
Oh, I thought you meant like a different character. He says a different character, like a main cast. She might have had a cameo, but she wasn't like.
Yeah, she would. No, she was a cameo, real quick.
Oh, all right.
That's what they're saying. Yeah.
Final.
Savant was good.
Thanks for playing, everyone. Thanks.
Yes, thanks for our review of.
Told him to go into this as a whole new thing. Obviously, yeah, sure. As opposed to it being a continuation of Suicide Squad.
Well, honestly, I kept saying that Ordway was the whole Idris Elba character, just a rewritten part of the Will Smith character, because I thought it was the same kind of Deadshot guy with the mask and he had a gun. I was like, is that supposed to be whatever his other character was?
They just took Will Smith and just like cloned him with it.
No, that's what I was saying. Is that a character in the comics? He says, oh, yeah, that was in a John Byrne book. That character,
but as I understand it, Will Smith didn't have bad feelings about appearing in the next movie. It was just scheduling that he was making a different movie at the same time. So there is the potential, and I know that the film will likely begat a third movie. There is the potential for both Idris and Will to be in the next movie, and even maybe as a subplot B.
That would be a cool story.
I'm the leader.
That would be a cool story, yeah.
And I think that's a great idea, and I hope it happens.
Well, they already did that. So.
I hope it happens. I think that'd be terrific.
Yes. Well, maybe they can have a different villain. Maybe the Suicide Squad can go back in time and fight Jonah Hex or something.
You got to fight the Joker. I mean, it's so stupid that
they already had the Joker.
Yeah.
He was in the first one.
Thanks for coming to my Suicide Squad.
Again, Enchantress was really the target.
Yeah.
And it should have been, let's bring down the Joker. Mm-hmm. And that was kind of a lousy kind of, half-sister version of that. Yeah.
So this movie actually fits into the Zack Snyder universe, then.
It could. It does. I mean, again, based on the first movie,
it could be completely outside of it.
Well, he was a producer on this movie. I saw his name on the credits. I go, oh, well, he's still got his hand in it. So
it's probably contractual.
Really? Okay, that makes sense. Anyway.
Anyway,
that's the Suicide Squad talk. Thanks for watching.
A little addendum to our Justice or our Star Trek talk. So yeah, the show starts. Lower Deck starts on Thursday. We'll be back next weekend to do a wrap up. Hopefully on Thursday, but depending on everybody's schedule.
Well, Wayne will be beaming down in Vegas. He won't have time to watch TV.
Well, no, but it'll be the three of us. Wayne is our guest today. But
you guess.
And we'll have other guests as well.
Hey, Wayne.
I thought about asking Andy Price to join us, but when Wayne and I were talking today, I'm like, wait a minute, you're there.
Yeah.
And Wayne will come back and give us a convention report on how creation did.
I was just going to say, the next time we see Wayne, his hair might be a different style.
He might be in a red shirt. Yeah.
You got to give us. Are they
I
selling?
do have it.
Red shirt?
And I have Kinnaman too.
Are they selling an O'Brien curly-haired wig as well for you to wear?
It was hard to find.
Just order a Napoleon Dynamite one on Amazon.
I almost picked up the bob cut, which would have been hilarious.
You could be an Ensign Rowe.
Yeah, no, if you had the bob, you'd be Data's a real android daughter from the Next Generation movies or TV show.
Airbrush yourself yellow. You could be
Lol. Yeah, you could be Lol. Yeah,
excellent. All right, guys and women, thank you for watching. Thank you for the questions. Good stuff. We'll talk to you next time on Trek Watch. Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.